So, how is the song going?
Pretty good. I think pretty much ready to go.
Okay, let's try it.
Goodbye, old comic books. The love affair is ending. Adieu to thee, Stanley, Daisy, and Dell. Though it's been fun, the time has come to stop pretending. All dreams must end, so my super friends, farewell. But oh, I wish I were a superhero girl, like in the comics, like in the movies. Oh, someday I'll be a superhero girl, faithful and forceful and eternally true. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue, defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. That's what I'm gonna do, but oh, it's tough to be a superhero girl, 'cause no one knows it. I'm much too shy to show it. Oh, someday I'll be a superhero, ordinary and weak, the nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. The zero I fear is the hero they all seek. Little do they know that helpless, ordinary Eleanor Fairchild is just my secret identity. I'll swoop down on the scene looking so crazy cool, so fierce and choice and fly, the boys can't help but drool. The Lord of Evil thinks that he can rule big time, but I'll mega blast at best and mess him up real fine. By the fire of my lady, I could set them free, though they treated me like dirt. Now I'll make them see the power in me is to destroy you for dessert. Should I let them be, or let them die the death they deserve? Oh no! Oh no! Calling superhero girl! Oh, I have to be superhero girl. I'll get up one morning and then without a warning, oh, just watch me fly. I will fly. Watch me fly. I'm off on a strange adventure, make it strange and new. In the space I think I'm coming through. I've lived a crazy dream, but now it's coming true. When I'm really a supergirl, who knows what I'm gonna do? If I only knew. If I only knew. If I only knew.
There was like a fuzziness happening, so I had to turn off my mic so I could hear you. Awesome. You sound great. This sounds great, and it's in really good shape as far as the fact that it's almost completely memorized, which is beautiful. And you're starting to make these dramatic choices, which is awesome. And I think that's something we can really focus on today. How did it go for you?
Felt good. There are a few like mixed up words, but I think most of it's okay. It's just like making sure they all get out because it's a lot of words, like in a very short amount of time.
Okay, cool. So that's good to know. We can try to figure out how to like maybe do less vocally so that it's easier to spit out all of these words, especially rap part two, where it's like we don't have to worry about articulating everything. Obviously, we want to be heard, but we also don't want to be working so hard that it slows us down.
Hmm.
Anything vocally challenging?
I don't think so. Not like anything placement wise.
Cool. Great. So let's sort of walk through this. Do you have your sheet music?
Yeah, I have it up in front of me.
Perfect. Let's walk through this and talk about some of the like dramatic changes happening in this song because this is a long song and there's some shifts that are a little subtle and I want to make sure we notice them. Before we do that, at at page 176 where we have like the but mother where there's that pause right there. We are, I know it's kind of tricky over Zoom, but we are going to pause the music right there and say these lines just to get in the habit.
Okay.
Cool. Do you have the little, I sent you a screenshot of this section of the script.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Then we can just pause right there next time we do it, run through these lines, and then keep going. Okay, cool. So from the start, let's talk about what's happening. First off, what has just happened right
So
before we start?
what happened is kind of this confrontation with her mother of this is not normal, this is not how like any child acts, and kind of this you need to stop being childish, you need to stop with all of these comics and all of that, and kind of this moment of her being like, all right, well, I guess we're done.
Absolutely. Can you react to that, to what has just happened? How do you feel about that conversation, how it went?
I think probably like I think confused is really probably the best word for her because she doesn't get it. Like, she doesn't understand that this isn't, because this feels so natural, like in her blood, kind of. So I think confused also probably, I don't know, because I don't think she's necessarily entirely embarrassed just seeing how she, like, fully goes into it, but probably a little bit discouraged at the very least. It's her mother who's telling her this stuff, so that has to bring in an aspect of hurt.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think like you brought up embarrassed and you weren't completely sure about that. Let's also try that.
Okay.
If that's how you feel, then that's how you feel.
Mhm.
And I think that that's like a really valid start to this. Like she's confused and embarrassed because literally she does not belong on this planet.
Mhm.
You know, so let's take that aspect of her character really seriously when we're doing the song. So yeah, you're confused, you're hurt, you're embarrassed, and you're saying goodbye to your comic books, which is literally who you are. You're saying
Mhm.
goodbye to. Um, okay, and then if we turn the page, when we get to this part, it's been fun. The time has come to stop pretending. There's like a moment of build here. There's a very clear tension in this moment. The time has come to stop pretending. Right on that word come in particular, where we have this disjunct sounding chord. What? Because you aren't pretending, right? Like you are the girl from the comic books. So, what is this line to you? To stop pretending.
Yeah, I also like confused. I think carries over to that really well because like it's not pretending. So I think it's kind of like saying it out loud and that like a special like that especially like that realization to stop pretending. And I kind of like that they have like the rest there because I think that's kind of reflection of like pretending. Like what's pretend about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I when I was looking through this, I actually wrote down the word gaslit. You are being gaslit. And it's not intentional from your mom. Like she obviously her concerns are valid if you really are an earth girl, which you're not. So just like taking a step back as the actor, you can kind of be aware of that. Like you are being manipulated into believing that this isn't who you are, but
Mhm.
it is. So just something to think about if that could inform any of our choices here. Okay, going on. Um, when we get to this, we get to the end of this little chunk at all dreams must end, so my super friends farewell. And then it goes into a totally different orchestration, right? What is the change here?
I think it's kind of that because she is not only does she so interested in these comics, like she likes to act as if she's a part of them and kind of like make up these scenarios that she's in. So I think that's kind of her. It's like that little transition from reflection to being like, all right, nope, I'm gonna go do my own fun little thing that I like doing, and it's kind of her like not able to get away from that. She just slips into it naturally, even though she's saying goodbye to it. It just starts.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I I want to take what you said about she makes up these, stories and like she pretends to really be a part of it.
Mhm.
Can we actually come from the angle of you're not pretending?
Oh wow.
It's like
Yeah.
this is 100% real.
Mhm.
And I say for you, but really it is 100% real.
Mhm.
So farewell. So maybe there's a little bit of pain here. But
Mhm.
oh, I wish I were a superhero girl. Like this is devastating that who you are is being taken away.
Yeah.
Tommy, the director, said that this entire, like the stakes of this entire show are life or death. And
Mhm.
I think that this being like one of the very first songs in the show that establishes who you are, I think that we can really establish that off the bat. Like this is all 100% real for you and 100% life or death.
Totally.
Okay, so this whole first little chunk, we're gonna come back to the new chunk, but for this first chunk, I wonder if we can come up with like a word for it.
Mhm.
Like maybe mine would be like devastated, or it could even just be a phrase like who I am is being taken from me. What do you
Mhm.
think, like what would resonate with you the best if we were to title this?
I think for me, it's kind of like, why is this happening?
Okay.
Because it's so much like the fact that she does belong in that world, it just she's completely wired differently. And it's I think like a why, like why does nobody else like not to like why is it happening? Why does nobody else like is like me? Why am I not like them? I just think it provides a lot of questions for
Yes.
her.
That's great. I love that. Can we try from the top? We'll pause but after this section.
Okay. Goodbye, old comic books. The love affair is ending. Adieu to thee, Stanley, DC, and Dell. Though it's been fun, the time has come to stop pretending. All dreams must end, so my super friends, farewell. But oh, I wish I were.
Awesome. Stakes are much higher now. Do you feel it? That was really cool. I especially loved how you were in it from the very start.
Mhm.
And obviously, when we're actually doing the show, you're going to be in it. But I appreciate that you're practicing that way right now. When you say Stanley, DC, and Dell, can you give each of them meaning? Like,
Yeah.
have it in your mind and heart what each of them mean to you
Mhm.
as you're singing that line.
Okay.
Any other thoughts come up that you want to explore about this first section?
I don't think yet.
Okay.
Maybe I think some probably will, but not yet.
How did it feel transitioning into the second section from an angle of like devastation.
I actually like that because I think not even just for this section, it gives it more room to grow as a whole piece because I think, she does get to that one part where she's like in it and excited. So I think it's like I like that a lot better because I think it takes her cuz she did just have this talk with her mom. I think it transitions that getting back into this mindset from that confrontation, it transitions that a lot. It's a lot more smooth.
Yeah, great. I'm glad that that felt good. So we're going to start from the top, and then we're just going to keep going for a little bit.
Goodbye, old comic books. The love affair is ending. Adieu Titty, Stanley, DC, and Dell. Though it's been fun, the time has come to stop pretending. All dreams must end, so my super friends, farewell. But oh, I wish I were a superhero girl. Like in the comics, like in the movies. Oh, someday I'll be a superhero girl. That unhip chick, so ordinary and weak. The nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. The zero I fear is the hero they all seek. Little.
Yeah, we can pause here.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think you were jumping ahead a little bit. We still have one more. Oh, it's tough to be a superhero girl. So, there's a moment where you have a moment of optimism in the next section. So, a huge indicator of that in the music is our key change. The comics, like in the movies, now we're up a major third. Oh, there is a shift because you were first saying, I wish I were a superhero girl, and now you're saying someday I'll be a superhero girl. So there's got to be something that drives that. Like what has just happened in your mind or in your being that would justify that?
I think it has to come from that. I think the idea of letting it go was enough to be like, nope. Like that saying it out loud of like, I wish I were was not enough to where that's not what she wants. She doesn't want it to be a wish. It can't be a wish. It is too real for it to just be a wish. So it needs to, so I think that like kind of provokes like, no, someday I will be. Like it's non-negotiable for her. Non-negotiable.
I love that. Can we see like the moment that you snap? And I think that that moment has to be right on this key change. So like in the comics, like in the movies, and then it's like, no, like, no, Eleanor.
Sure.
You are playing, you are being manipulated. Literally, that's what's happening. Again, it's not intentional, but that's what's happening. Okay, and then we still are not, let's see. Someday I'll be a superhero girl. Faithful and forceful and eternally true. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue. So, what is this moment to you? This build right here.
That is her in character or like being like kind of I think sharing what she feels like she genuinely does need to do. And it's like that is her purpose. And yeah, so that I think she's like really serious about that.
Okay, yeah. So you said in character, which again, yeah, you're right, but can it not be fake? Like it's not a play. And I think that that's one thing that is so hard about this character is like coming to terms Well, first off, it's like you have to act as though you have to try to believe that you're not a superhero girl while knowing deep down that you are.
Hmm.
And that's challenging. So faithful and forceful and eternally true. Can this be I want to say Milady, can your character from the comic books, can this be her starting to bubble up
Okay.
for the first time?
Mhm.
Defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. That is like so that's like a declaration. Like I will do this.
Mhm.
Um cool. And then that's what I'm gonna do. She says that's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do. I think because she's like in that my fellow women too, like that serious. This is my mission, and I think that's so exciting to her. Like that is like her finally getting to do whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do. But like that's kind of her falling into that excitement a little bit. So not necessarily. I think that's like still her being like true to. I guess like not in character isn't the best word for it. Like true to herself. I guess is like what those sections are. That's not her slipping out of it, but I think that's like her slipping out of that like professionalism of it and just being excited, like and how much she admires like this world and what these superheroes do.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I originally saw that going in a different direction, but I see where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
The direction that I originally thought of was like that's what I'm gonna do is like a very direct like this is happening. It's like we're further going down this path of like confidence toward figuring out who you are. Or what you're saying, which to me feels more like playful,
Mm-hmm.
like playfully like excited about who you really are, which I think is also really fun and it shows that you are a kid, you know? um like you're figuring out who you are and you're figuring out what your role is in the world, literally. So you can explore that. You can explore all of that. All right. Is there a way to go back to maybe like around farewell?
But oh, I wish I were a superhero girl. Like in the comics, like in the movies. Oh, someday I'll be a superhero girl. Faithful and forceful and eternally true. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue. Defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. That's what I'm gonna do, but oh, it's tough to be a superhero girl. Cause no one knows it, I'm much too shy to show it. Oh, someday they'll see that unhip chick so ordinary and weak. The nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. The zero I fear is the hero they all seek. Little do they know that ordinary, helpless Eleanor Fairchild is just my secret identity.
Great. We'll pause right here. Awesome. Okay, so all of these shifts can be really big. Like when you shift from like in the comics, like in the movies, oh, it's like suddenly you're like breaking out of your shell, your Eleanor shell to become Bizarbra. So we're gonna move past that for now, but for this next section, like we were talking about after this key change, where suddenly things are looking up, can you take some pleasure in this? Someday I'll be a superhero girl. Like your excitement is already bubbling from that point. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so by the time you get to fellow women too, you are like Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
This entire song is like a feminist power ballad. Like, you can take so much pride in being the one to save the world as a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving forward, I wanted to ask about I first off, I liked your shift for it's tough to be a superhero girl
Okay.
because that's
Yeah.
another shift right there where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I have hesitations about this.
Yeah.
Why do you have hesitations about
I think like with especially with her situation, it's very natural because she knows something is off. Like she that or else she wouldn't be so caught up in this. But it's kind of like that mentality of when everybody is saying something, you have your doubts, and even though she knows herself, I think it's also especially like going back to it's from her mother, like that person that you love and that you trust, and they are usually like correct in most cases. So it's kind of like hearing all of these discouraging thoughts from the people that you value the most, their opinion of the most.
Yes, for sure. Love that. And when you say I'm much too shy to, or first off, because no one knows it, I'm much too shy to show it. Have you always known deep down that you're a superhero girl?
I think yeah. I think to where it's like this extent, yes, it has to be.
Cool. And I know this is kind of like a lot to answer right now, but can you start thinking about what that looked like and felt like maybe when you were younger, or even in present day, where it's like you know this huge thing about yourself. I think it's one of those things where you keep going back and forth on like I'm different from everyone else. I'm meant to be here and I don't even know where here is, but I just have a feeling that it's somewhere else.
Mhm.
Um so start thinking about like what did that look like
Uh-huh.
growing up because you're still young and I think that that's part of it too is like you are discovering who you are as you're becoming an adult.
Mhm.
Um so start thinking about that line I'm much too shy to show it. Because it's
Okay.
like you do know. And first off, you're saying it as if it's true.
Mhm.
You know it. It's just that no one could ever believe you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's this weird line the nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. Do you know what that means?
Okay, this could be wrong. I took that as kind of because the videos that I watched, she was wearing her overalls and she had like the yellow shirt on underneath. So I thought that that was more of a dig at how she dressed, but not entirely sure.
Oh, okay. So when I first read that, I thought it was like an Frozen thing where if they get the ice to the chest, they get that like streak, you know? And so I thought she had like a streak in her hair or something like that that showed that she was different. Nope, big yellow streak means that you have like a personality trait of being a coward or
Okay.
being easily frightened by things. So
Yep.
that's just something to know about yourself is like you, you're saying about yourself that everyone knows you to be this nerd that is a coward, would never stand up for herself. And it's probably pretty scary to know that this is who the society has made you believe that who they have made you believe that you are. How are you going to save all of inner space?
Mhm.
So you're terrified about that.
Okay.
Something to think about. And you already know all about inner space because you've read all about it.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Um, because that was like a lot, can we actually do this from the top up to this point?
Okay.
So from the top, we are in the extreme of confused and hurt and saying goodbye. It's like you're at a funeral for your
Yeah.
most beloved comic book.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it.
Goodbye, old comic books. The love affair is ending. Adieu to thee, Stanley, DC, and Dell. Though it's been fun, the time has come to stop pretending. all dreams must end. So my super friends, farewell. But oh, I wish I were a superhero girl. Like in the comics, like in the movies. Oh, someday I'll be a superhero girl. Faithful and forceful and eternally true. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue. Defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. That's what I'm gonna do, but oh, it's tough to be a superhero girl. 'Cause no one knows it. I'm much too shy to show it. Oh, someday they'll see that unhip chick so ordinary and weak. The nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. The zero I fear is the hero we all seek.
Man, it gets me every time. Great though. Awesome. I'm starting to see you play, especially on this Wonder Woman part. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue, defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. You're starting to do some like superhero poses. I think you should go all out with that. You know, follow those instincts to play, especially right before. That's what I'm gonna do. It's like you're getting you're getting into it from a playful standpoint of you don't necessarily, maybe you don't know yet. Maybe you're still figuring that out and you're having fun with it. How'd it go?
I thought it was good. I think I really do like how everything fits together, like the different pieces, like the arc of it so far. So pretty good.
Great. Okay. Can we pick up right there before this wrap?
They know that helpless, ordinary Eleanor Fairchild is just my secret identity. I'll swoop down on the scene looking so crazy cool. So fierce in choice and fly, the boys can't help but drool. The Lord of Evil thinks that he can rule big time, but I'll mega blast at Busta, mess him up real fine. By the fire of my lady, I could set them free, though they treated me like dirt. And I'll make them see the power in me as I destroy you for dessert. Should I let them die? Or should I... No. Should I save them? I think it's... Should I save them or should I let them die the death that they so richly deserve?
Okay, let's pause here. So this is the strangest part in the song, and I love it, but it is a little, it's different.
Yeah.
So first off, after we have our rap, the rap is pretty straightforward. I think you can really play here and just like, again, you are just getting into this, what might still be a fantasy, maybe, I don't know, you can figure that out, of who you really are. And you're creating who you really are too. What are these? Dun 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 dun. What is this musical interlude right here?
I think it's a bit of a shift, and I don't think. Well, yeah, it is a bit. It is a shift. And it's not. Eleanor doesn't have. I don't think any ill intent. Like with her person is good, but I also think that she has experienced a lot of bullying and just judgment compared to the way that she is when she has just grown up differently. And I think this is kind of like her and her little inner self struggling with like how people have been towards her around her, because it's just, should I let them die or should I, and this switch from look at me like I'm doing all this cool stuff to I have all the power now. And it's kind of like so into it that like almost like I want to say God complex there, to where she's just so like you need me now. like how like the tables have turned. So I don't think that's like a huge part of her character, but I do think like that's moments like that are very real when you've experienced judgment and treatment the way that she has.
Okay, cool. You are doing so well with like analyzing this song, and I love these ideas.
Mhm.
I want to take it a step further. Can you transform into Milady right here?
Okay. Okay.
Can
Yeah.
you like can this second part literally just be Milady? There's no Eleanor even in there anymore.
Okay.
Um which brings up the question of who's Milady? Like like what is that going to look like for you?
I think right now at this point in the song that like or at this point in the show that well my lady is this person that Eleanor is going to grow into. And I think so this is her young perception of it. And that's like why I think it's all power and that's why she has to grow into it because that's eventually not what she that's not who my lady actually is, but it's kind of this perception of this child who is dreaming of having of being able to save people and having all of this glory. So I think it's kind of this glorified version of a superhero. It's not who she actually is.
Cool. That's a great choice. So, let's sort of play with what direction you want to take that. If
Okay.
you want it to be Eleanor's glorified version of really like kind of reinventing who you're going to be as a superhero, or
Mhm.
maybe Milady literally comes out because I do think that that is part of this song, which is
Mhm.
that by the end of it, there's more of who you really are on the outside.
Mhm.
So we do have to kind of like plan for that as well. And then should I save them or should I let them die the death they so richly deserve? Who are you talking about?
I think, at least in my mind, for that, I kind of think it's that same people who we're talking about regarding like the hero they need is the Zero they all see. Just kind of like I guess the people in her life, maybe her mother, the people who have specifically been mean to her, just kind of whoever she has felt has wronged her any kind of way.
I love that. I love your ideas so much, and I want you to show every single one of them. Like I want all of them. Like if you feel like the change or a certain like nudge within you to do something, you should do it. Because like really these are brilliant ideas for this character. Okay, I'm just kind of looking ahead. Calling superhero girl. At this calling superhero girl part where you hold girl for 4 measures. Um, what do you think is happening here within you or in the show?
Um, oh no, oh no. I think kind of similar to before, like that living in that moment of glory, like she is like yeah, right there I would like definitely like she is like my lady in that part that's just kind of like her talking about herself kind of in third person. You know, like when kids like play games and stuff like that and they're like, "Oh, now comes to this." Like that it's kind of one of those, but she is like so caught up in her moment like this is like they're calling me. So that's that for her.
Absolutely. This like, oh no. Like I wonder if you could even be mocking them.
Mhm.
That would be
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
um I don't think I've ever seen it like that, like done like that, but that would be like
Yeah.
if we're gonna go that route, we should go all the way and mock these tiny people who can't save themselves because you're gonna save them. All right, let's go to the beginning of the rap if you can find that in the music.
I'll swoop down on the scene looking so crazy cool. So fierce and choice and fly, the boys can't help but drool. The Lord of Evil thinks that he can rule big time, but I'll mega blast that bust him, messed him up real fine. By the power of my lady, I could set you free that treated me like dirt. Now I'll make them see the power in me as I destroy you for dessert. Should I let them free or let them die the death they so richly deserved? Oh no! Oh no! Calling superhero girl!
That's it. I'm taking these. You
No,
are
mother,
gonna.
please. No, mother, please.
Eleanor, it's for your own good. Peace out.
Mother. Oh, I have to be a superhero girl. I'll get up one morning and then without a warning, oh, just watch me fly. I will fly. Watch me fly. I'm off on a new adventure, make it strange and new. Just wait for me in space, I think I'm breaking through. I've lived a crazy dream, but now it's coming true. When I'm really a supergirl, who knows what I'm gonna do? If I only knew. If I only knew. If I only knew.
All right, awesome. All right. Rap, part 2. By the fire of my lady, I could set them free. Can you, like, milady should be like jumping out of your skin right here. So, I'm trying to think of like a character to compare her to right here. Honestly, like Elphaba is coming to mind. Like,
Okay.
I feel like this is your defying gravity moment.
Okay.
Um, something to think about. Like, I think right here you'd be like belting out this rap.
Okay. But
Okay.
like, okay.
Okay. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
And then we've got a lot of key changes at the end. Look it up in morning and then without a warning key change. So far I like our choice of this key change up to be like a new level of excitement. Oh, just watch me fly. Like that's a new discovery right there. Just watch me fly. I don't think we've even talked about flying yet.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like this is where like, you know, it's getting real and then you really are talking about yourself in it's like third first person. If I only knew. That's like your inner self telling you, don't worry. It's if you only knew who you really were, you'd be able to save inner space in the world as we know it.
Yeah.
So these if I only knew. If I only knew. If first of all, can we have like a huge build?
Okay.
I like how the first one is really subdued. If I only knew. And I like how it was almost like Eleanor's never gonna know. It had a little bit of that doubt. And then can the next one be like, but wait, we can like she can figure this out. If I only knew. And then finally, if I only knew, I feel like that could just be straight up Milady.
Like
That is if I only knew. Like you're jumping out of your skin again.
okay.
Cool. Okay, a lot of ideas. Let's go back to the rap. And first, can like, do you have any questions about any of that? I know it was a lot.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Okay, there it is. swoop down on the scene looking so crazy cool. So fierce and choice and fly, the boys can't help but drool. The Lord of Evil thinks that he can rule big time, but I'll mega blast that bust and mess him up real fine. By the fire of my lady, I could set them free, though they treated me like dirt. Now I'll make them see the power in me is to destroy you for dessert. Or should I let them die the death they so richly deserve? Oh no! Oh no! Calling superhero
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my line. That's it. I'm taking these. You are Meshugana.
No, Mother, please.
Eleanor, it's for your own good. Peace out.
Mother? Oh, I have to be a superhero girl. I'll get up one morning and then without a warning. Oh, just watch me fly. I will fly. Watch me fly. I'm off on a great adventure, make it strange and new. Just wait for me in space, I think I'm breaking through. I've lived a crazy dream, but now it's coming true. And I'm really a supergirl, who knows what I'm gonna do? If I only knew. If I only knew. If I only knew.
Okay, cool. I just got like so many ideas after this one. That was really good. Okay. First off, the word girl sounds fantastic. Hero girl. It's like the perfect place. It's great. Okay. So I wonder if you can think about this song and maybe Eleanor's entire character at the beginning of this show as starting to become possessed by your inner self, Milady. And one place that I actually got that idea is the first one. If I only knew. You looked a little bit like hazy, like dizzy almost, and I loved that because it's like you're in this like fuzzy place of like what's going on with my brain, you know? And then we start to like build, like Milady starts to take over more and more throughout the song, but especially throughout If I Only Knew. And then by the last one, it's like you are in Milady.
Okay.
You are Milady. And you don't know that yet, but you are. Okay. Great. Can we sing the whole song?
Yes.
Would that be too much or is that okay?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Before we do, I just remembered one more thing. If I only knew. Can you think super twang right there?
If I only knew.
Yeah, and you can even think a little bit like a now. If I only knew. Like really forward.
If I only knew.
Cool. Feel good? All right, let's do it.
Goodbye, old comic books. The love affair is ending. Adieu to thee, Stanley, DC, and Dell. Though it's been fun, the time has come to stop pretending. All dreams must end, so my super friends, farewell. But oh, I wish I were a superhero girl. Like in the comics, like in the movies. Oh, someday I'll be superhero girl. Faithful and forceful and eternally true. I'll crush every enemy of the red, white, and blue. Defend my fellow men and my fellow women too. That's what I'm gonna do, but oh, it's tough to be a superhero girl. 'Cause no one knows it, I'm much too shy to show it. Oh, someday they'll see that unhip chick so ordinary and weak. The nerd with the nerves and the big yellow streak. The zero I fear is the hero they'll seek. Little do they know that helpless, ordinary Eleanor Fairchild is just my secret identity. I'll swoop down on the scene looking so crazy cool. So fierce and choice and fly, the boys can't help but drool. The Lord of Evil thinks that he can rule big time, but I'll mega blast that Busta, mess him up real fine. By the fire of my lady, I could set them free, though they treated me like dirt. And I'll make them see the power in me is to destroy you for dessert. Should I let them die, or save them from the death they so freely deserve? Oh no! Oh no! Calling superhero girl!
That's it. I'm taking these. You are Mishugana.
No, Mother, please!
Eleanor, it's for your own good. Peace out.
Mother! Oh, I have to be a superhero girl. I'll get up one morning and then without a warning. Oh, just watch me fly. I will fly. Watch me fly. I'm off on a great adventure, make it strange and new. Just wait for me in space, I think I'm breaking through. I've lived a crazy dream, but now it's coming true. When I'm really Supergirl, who knows what I'm gonna do? If I only knew. If I only knew. If I only knew.
That twang was spot on. Really good. I love these choices. Thank you for making so many of your own choices. I love that. One super quick exercise to leave you with, because I know we talked about like spitting out all these words. When we have these lines that are like, should I save them or should I let them die the death they so richly deserve? Can you practice that with your tongue all the way out your mouth? Should I save them or should I let them die the death they so richly deserve? Yep, and the goal is that you're articulating the best that you can with the obstacle of not having your entire tongue. So it's all the way out. One more time.
Hey, let them die. They so richly deserve.
Can you get every single last word out? Should I save them?
Should I save them or let them die the death they so richly deserve?
There you go. Now speak it like normal.
Should I save them or let them die the death they so richly deserve?
Beautiful. Rolls off the tongue. Sometimes it just takes practice, especially when we have like a time crunch on a line. Then that can be really helpful.
Okay, cool.
Amazing. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so.